Controversial trans cyclist Austin Killips wins a North Carolina race by more than 5 minutes. Second place woman says her power is rather uncomparable. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of freedom fighters out there. Spoiler alert, we have another biological male now identifying as a female, beating the crap out of other women in sports, winning the cycling race by 5 minutes. Why are these other ladies not even trying? Women have a poor work ethic. They're obviously not even training, or else this woman, Austin Killips, who is just as woman-like as any other woman, wouldn't be winning by such a large margin. So shame on you, women, for not being hard workers and training just as hard as first place woman. We're gonna take a look at the interview with the second place contestant. We're gonna read some information about such proceedings. But first, before we do that, we're gonna hear from first place woman, Austin Killips, what this victory means to her.
About how today played out and like what you're gonna remember the most about this victory.
Oh, I mean, it was just a grueling effort. I'm just really proud to like play it out there and get the result. But
it was a grueling effort. That's what made the difference. She was willing to put in a grueling effort. The other women who clearly won't work hard, they weren't willing to put in a grueling effort. That is accurate.
Yeah, I kind of, after BC, I kind of get how things work now, where like you really want to be up front going into those technical single track sections.
Which, by the way, that if you're a cyclist out there, I hope you heard that strategy. You kind of want to be up front. That's awesome. Having years worth of male testosterone in your system, that helps your cause being up front, but just be up front. It was a good strategy.
Kind of asserted myself there, was able to get a gap early.
She definitely asserted herself.
Then got a flat, and then we were kind of...
Well, won the race by 5 minutes and even got a flat in the middle of the race. Presumably had to get off the bike, change the tire. Wow, I wonder what the gap would have been if there wasn't a flat tire.
Kind of all riding together for quite a while, and I just, you know, I have a cross background, and I was just like, I'm gonna attack these single track sections.
Has a cross background, I'll say has a background in something else that creates an advantage.
As hard as I can, and try to establish a gap again, and did that. God, I don't even know what mile, but one of the mid-race single track sections I just kind of hammered and was able to stay clear and
here we go, the
together.
silver medal winner.
That's the thing. Ladies out there, hopefully you can take inspiration and instruction from this post-race interview. Just do what Austin did, and you too can be a winner by a freaking mile. So let's hear what the second place racer has to say. This racer, by the way, has the unusual circumstances of being a biological woman and still being a woman. Not necessarily recommended for competitive strategies, but nonetheless, we're gonna give her airtime, see what she has to say.
Great ride today, Paige, and tell us a little bit about what it was like out there, how you were feeling, how the day played out, and what you're gonna remember most.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful course, first of all.
By the way, how defeated does she look?
Even through the suffering, I tried to enjoy it out there. A lot of climbing, close to a little under 14K of climbing. I was feeling really good, was pushing the pace on the climbs a lot. Most of the day was riding. The top 3 women were together, me, Flavia, and Austin. But yeah, I just kind of couldn't match, you know, Austin and some of the single track and, you know, the power. It's just not comparable. So.
Couldn't match Austin, and the power was just not comparable. I wonder why. I also wonder if she has other thoughts that she's not just saying rather boldly. I don't know. But she has picked up, for some reason, there was uncomparable power between her and the first place racer. What would have caused that uncomparable power? Oh yeah, this second place racer doesn't have a strong work ethic, doesn't train hard, therefore hasn't developed the uncomparable power. That's it. Let's go on.
So kind of got gapped maybe 50 miles, and then from there was kind of alone a lot of the time. Had a couple guys to ride.
I think she said she got gapped by 50 miles. Unless I'm misinterpreting that, but just going with it. If you're gapped by 50 miles by the one racer in front of you that beats you, the playing field might not be level.
With and yeah, just kind of settled in and kept motoring and yeah, I got second.
Yep, you did get second. You got to work harder next time, okay? Now, back to the New York Post article on the race winner. Scrolling down a little bit, it says, tennis great Martina Navratilova, who recently criticized Killips for winning a race in New Mexico, reacted to the latest victory by tweeting, "What a joke." I don't know what Navratilova is referring to as a joke. I mean, these are just women competing against women. Like, I don't understand what she's referring to as a joke. The tennis great Navratilova tweeted again, saying, transgender cyclist Austin Killips wins women's race, causes outrage. This will happen more and more. Women's sports is not the place for trans-identified male athletes, Navratilova said. And the UCI, which is presumably the governing body over these cycling races, says the UCI defended Killips, but changed its tune the day after Navratilova's tweet, saying it would review its rules for trans athletes and analyze the current situation, with a new decision expected in August. I wonder what they'll find in their analysis. I wonder if they'll start to suspect that people who are born a male and lived as a male most of their life might have a slight competitive advantage over women. I don't know if they'll find that conclusion. They might work really hard to not see that conclusion. And then lastly, this is kind of relevant, Killips' emergence. So first place winner, Austin Killips. Killips' emergence on the cyclocross circuit was part of the reason 35-time winner Hannah Ahrensman retired from the sport recently. So Hannah Ahrensman said, hey, there's something unfair about Austin Killips competing. I don't like it. I'm going to take a stand for women's sports, women's rights, and I'm not going to compete against this. This is actually pretty fun. Killips had been accused of trying to push Ahrensman off the course at the UCI Cyclocross National Championships in December 2022. You go, Austin Killips. Like, push those women around. Not only should you beat them by 5 minutes, but you should definitely manhandle these women, push them off the course on a bike. I mean, you could break a collarbone, get paralyzed, have a catastrophic injury. You do that to women. I think that's fair. It's just sportsmanship. Nothing unethical about it. But hey, I don't know. I might be wrong. I could just be a bigot. Who knows? You get to be the judge. But nonetheless, this is not the first story we've covered in trans athletes beating the crap out of women in women's sports. Some would say this will continue as long as women continue allowing it, meaning they consent to it by continuing to participate in sports where biological males are allowed to compete. Some would say if all women rose up and withdrew from these competitions, then you have one guy competing against no women. Kind of makes it hard for the sport to continue. Women can take their power back if they choose to. The 35-time champion in cyclocross, she chose to do that. Recently, professional surfer Bethany Hamilton, she did that. So if more and more women do that, it could actually create a change. But nonetheless, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, I appreciate you watching this video with me. And before you go, I want to let you know I've got a special, very patriotic 4th of July freedom merch collection now live on my shop with such popular designs as "Freedom is my love language." And this is one of my new personal favorites, "F you tyrants." And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you want to take advantage and get any of the new 4th of July collection patriotic designs, you can hit up my freedom shop at awakenwithjp.com or hit the link in the description below. And I will look forward to seeing you on our next video. Until then, stay free.